Could you raise your hand if you've ever been to the doctors and had a blood test? Basically all of us. So what happened is after you had your blood taken is that it went off to a separate laboratory. And there they looked for it for everything that could be causing you a disease, like bacteria, viruses, or other molecules that could be indicators of the disease that you have. So the trouble is there isn't just one test for all of these things. They have to do multiple tests. So if you want to look for multiple markers of disease, you have to carry out multiple tests. And that costs money and it takes more time. Now, usually the reason you've gone to the doctor is that you're not feeling very well. So you want those results back quickly. Having to wait for them is distressful. You're in pain. You want to get better. So what would be a lot better is if we could do those tests right at your GP surgery. But what we don't want to have to do is cram their office with all the lab equipment you need to do it. We want a single device that can do every test. We want the Swiss Army knife of diagnostics. So what I've been working on is a new technology which we call electrophotonics, the combination of electronic measurements with the field of photonics, which is the art of shaping and harnessing light. So this is my device. How it works is that I take a piece of silicon and I cut a series of very thin grooves into it, so small that you can't see them. However, when I shine light up at it, it will then reflect a specific colour of light. But if something were to come along and sit on the surface, say a bacteria, that colour of light would change. So by following this colour change, we can specifically detect the bacteria that are causing disease. Now, sitting in your pockets right now, you all have a smartphone. And on that smartphone touchscreen, we have material called indium tin oxide, which is what makes the touchscreen capacitive and makes it work. So what I've done is taken that material and cover the layer of my structure with it. This gives me a conductive layer at the surface with which I can then electrically measure chemical reactions, such as those caused by living bacteria. So what I've been able to do during my PhD is able to successfully make this device and show that we can make measurements electronically and using light at the same time, completely in parallel. Okay, great, but so what? So by combining measurements together, we can extend the range of things that we can measure. We're moving closer now to this sort of Swiss Army knife of diagnostics. We can put it all in the big box and make it work together. But more importantly than that, when you're combining measurements, we now have more information. We can be more certain about the diagnosis that you're making so that make sure that you get the right treatment at the right time. So what we're now doing is we're now beginning to work with technology translation groups and venture capitalists so that we can begin to take this technology out from my lab bench where it lives and out into your GP surgery where it can make real benefits to your treatment in the future. Thanks for listening.